basically every government official in the United States, be that the President of the United States, or the Chief of Police in the City of Richmond, or, God forbid, the Sheriff of the City of Richmond, they all swear an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and they violate that oath to uphold the Constitution every single day, because the basis of the government is the Federal Reserve Bank, which exists in violation of Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, and entirely Article 6 of the Constitution. So, basically, it's very simple for all these people to come out and swear an oath and say that they're lawyers and that they comprehend what the law is. They violate the law every single day by serving in the United States government, which is nothing more than the governing arm of the Federal Reserve Bank, which was formed 100 years ago in an unlawful manner. All we're doing now is saying all the people have to do is to hold their representatives accountable. If you're active in any sort of activity that is in opposition of the government, you're missing the point, because the enemy is the Federal Reserve Bank. If you don't like Obamacare, it's the Federal Reserve Bank. If you don't like them cutting food stamps, it's the Federal Reserve Bank. If you're on the left or you're on the right, you're just the left arm or the right arm of the Federal Reserve Bank. There is no left and right. There's only the political constructs of the Federal Reserve Bank, which is unlawful. Basically, because the Federal Reserve Bank exists, then the United States government can't exist because of the parts of the Constitution that the Federal Reserve Bank violates. Basically, the Federal Reserve Bank creates money out of thin air and then charges the American people interest through taxes and bonds. It's simple. You all work for the Federal Reserve Bank. We all work for the Federal Reserve Bank, and we don't have any say in how our government or our economy functions. This is taxation without representation. This is government through banking tyranny. This is the international banking cartel controlling every aspect of every single American's life. This is debt slavery. And, above all, we don't see any police out here. We don't see any congressmen out here. We don't see any judges out here. If they don't come out here, if the government officials don't come out here and stand with us and say, we need to end the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve Bank has dissolved American sovereignty, then they are part of the problem. If the government officials don't join us in opposing the Federal Reserve Bank, they are in violation of their oath to uphold the Constitution. It's that clear. It's that simple. All of the fraud exists from the Fed. And, anybody who wants to, get things going or come up here and speak, I think we're going to have, when one of our speakers shows up, I think we're going to get started speaking. But anybody who wants to add anything, we're out here. This is an important issue. This is what controls everything that we do. And in this next year, we're going to bring this to light, to the people. We're going to let them know. Don't get caught up in any of that fake election nonsense or Republican versus Democrat. They all work for the Fed. And the Fed works for a private bank called the Bank for International Settlements in a foreign country, Switzerland. So, anyway, thanks for coming out. This is a great turnout. Thank you.
Well, I am a blower. Hey, there he is. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Hey, dude. So, yeah.
sucks and it's the holiday season and everybody's got a lot going on, but to see everybody here, makes me know that you're committed and you understand the score, you understand the hour, you understand the importance of being out here, and you're willing to, sacrifice that time and put yourself out there, put yourself in front of the media, put yourself in front of these so-called officials, and let them know that we're not going to take it. 100 years is 100 years too long. That's not what we were supposed to stand for. As our founding fathers said, the choice to find out whether free men can rule themselves is a grand experiment. And that's why we're here. And in many ways that experiment has failed. It's been corrupted since 1913. And we all look to our Constitution for our Declaration of Rights. It doesn't grant our rights, it's just a statement saying we now, on paper recognize these rights, but the flip side of that coin is responsibility. The United States Constitution outlines the rights that we naturally have, and it also says what we have to do to make sure that we don't lose those rights. In peaceful assembly, free speech, the Second Amendment, that is our national defense. As Japanese Emperor Yamamoto said, one cannot invade mainland America, or there'll be a rifle behind every blade of grass. That's not what we need the DHS, the civilian, military enforcement arm. As President Obama, when he was campaigning, said, we're going to build a domestic force comparable to our military. Well, that's really close to, quartering soldiers in World War peacetime. But for those who pay attention, things like the NDAA, which was recently re-signed, pending Obama's penmanship, which is, of course, going to happen, most likely at the 11th hour, just like the founding of the Fed on, 2 days before Christmas in 1913, where you didn't hop on a jet and go home, you had to get on your horse or whatever you had to do. So they were already gone by then, and even the District of Columbia itself is not part of this country. It is not a state. It is not part of this country. Just like the Vatican is not part of Rome, the City of London is not part of England. All three of those entities are in collaboration to create what we have here today, which is this Federal Reserve, essentially neo-feudalism. Like I was told when I worked for the bank, that I was not allowed to use the word sir. First of all, I said, under what authority do you tell me what words I can and cannot use? Second of all, I must have struck a bone, because sir seems to be pretty close to the truth if I wouldn't allow to talk about it. I can go and dive into kind of my spiel if you want.
Keep going. Keep going.
Anybody who knows me knows that I can talk. Anybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Anybody knows me knows I can talk. My father said I didn't talk when I was 2 and I ain't shut up yet. I don't have any intention of shutting up until we get some action. As Chris correctly pointed out, everyone who's taking notes, whether you're a politician or an employee of any of these organizations, your law enforcement, your military, we all took an oath to the Constitution, not to the President, not to the office, not to the Congress. There's a lot of fire service military here. Myself included, for 5 years in the Marine Corps, got out, went to college, graduated at ECU, and went to work for SunTrust Mortgage Headquarters, and eventually worked for the bank as a credit risk officer. And August 5th of this year, I was fired from that position for discovering the actual way that they're one of the many layers of how they commit fraud on a daily basis. Everyone knows about the mortgage crash that happened, and not everyone really understands what that is and how that happened. But essentially, just like the entire Federal Reserve and the government itself, does not have any desire to improve the lives of the citizens that live in this country. It's all about profit. Even the word mortgage itself, research the etymology of that word. Mort, debt, gage, the promise of repay. A mortgage is a debt pledge. That's why they extended all this credit to people who they knew couldn't repay. It's not about getting repaid. It's about turning us into debt slaves. And what I did at SunTrust was a credit risk. I monitored, I evaluated the 2008 mortgage crisis and evaluated the riskiness of those loans so the bank can understand how risky the loans are today. And beyond the fact that I proved that the risk was better than they had said it was. I also pointed out that the conditions in no way have made it less risky. As soon as the Department of Justice says you're too big to fail, that means you're too big to prosecute, and there are no rules for you. So they've done whatever they wanted to since then. And my management told me to go back and sit down and be quiet. That's not my problem. But I reminded them, first of all, as an employee, it says in my code of conduct, I have a fiduciary responsibility to the stockholders and to any investor who buys these bonds, these mortgage-backed securities. It's my job to tell you if something doesn't smell right, and it stinks. And they fired me for it. And I told them furthermore, I'm a United States Marine. I have an oath to the Constitution I take seriously. And as many people at some of these demonstrations have yelled at me, what gives you the right to criticize our president? What gives you the right to speak out? I asked them it was a trick question. I could have sworn the First Amendment of the Constitution gave me that right to do that. In fact, not gave me, but noted that I have the right to do that. That's why we're all here. And we need to make sure that all these people involved, whether they are aware of what they're doing or not, and the sad truth is many are not even aware that they have been bamboozled in this scheme, this debt slavery system. And even the federal government has questioned the Fed, and they said, you know what? You don't have any authority to audit us. You don't have any authority to ask us where the money went. We outrank you. That's what they told all of our elected officials. And they're right based on their view of the law. They look at the law as administrative codes, statutes, permits, and all this kind of just nonsense. The law is the Constitution, and that's what we're here to enforce. Amen. Thank you. So thanks all for coming out, and for those who haven't seen it online, this is not a one-day event, this is day one of a year-long event to keep the pressure on. Tell these people that work in this building that you are in violation of any oath you've taken, you're in violation of constitutional law, and we're not going to sit for it. We've sat for 100 years. All fiat currencies fail, historical fact, and this one will too. And we're not going to stand by and let our citizens be put to death like they were under Stalin and Mao, the Khmer of Cambodia, any great dictator. As soon as the weapons are gone, mass democide, death by government ensues. And we're not going to let that happen. And as oath keepers say, not on my watch.
Amen, mate.
They just lowered it to the more to the left.
Watching all the security guards in there. All in mass. In mass, they all come into the lobby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy everybody. We got to turn out. Oh, I'm not saying that it's ridiculous that they could not get away with it. I'm saying they know that they're a lie. We are being very clear. We're talking about the ones that I was like, right, that's right. It's all of those things. It's not just one of them. It's all of those things.
It's not possible.
The thing is, everyone's fighting. Well, I can get it. There's a lot of players. Guardian's still here because I'm still the president. What happened? I'm the president. They were run by the management. They were running management. Berlin and New York and London. And we were all doing business together. Yeah, we put all sides of the war. We were operating in April. I mean, and that's why. Yeah, we know exactly that. The whole so-called black community, all that's what people don't realize. The National Socialist Democratic Party. And Nazi was a very, there was a peculiar that existed. Blacks are all very they know how people are going to react. All these people are continuous. They're just as smart as we are. Just like Stalin. And then we get to bring this psychology. Human psychology. And they know how to manipulate things. They don't and that's a huge issue. Definitely have we don't have no care. Not care. There's no money. I was already right now.
Hey.
No way, man.
No, I'm cool. I just saw that you had called. I was wondering what's going on. Oh, hold on, I can't hear you.
Help me remember, where did the Obamacare
Get out of the crowd here. Alright, now what'd you say? Yeah, there's like 30 some people.
Where do all laws and attacks have to originate from?
Okay, it'll probably be about another half hour or so. Alright, I'll give you a holler. Love you too, girl. Bye.
Slavery never ended.
They just changed the name.
Oh, now the former slaves are allowed to get into the debt. Right, are allowed to get into the debt system. That's all I'm saying.
When all that went down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On both sides of the record. We can press Scott Bush. We read an article on the Secret War about this. the Titanic, read that. There was essentially a false flag as well. Because of the three most wealthy, powerful men who opposed the Federal Reserve System, on that boat. The captain also in the Jesuit order. And that's why they built it the most. Well, that's why they built the Titanic. It's the most luxurious, and of course, think about just like everything here, like Patriot Act, right? Not Patriot Act. Affordable health care, not affordable. Unsinkable ship went down on its main voyage. Take whatever they're calling it, go 180 degrees. Correct. Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's one thing I pointed out to a lot of people the other day. Think about today's working man's uniform. What goes around your neck?
A noose.
A noose. What's this called? What's the end of your sleeve called? You got a noose, a collar, and cuffs on your hands, and you don't even know it. And it's so simple. Look at, just define the words that are being used. It's not still rocket science to figure out. Just look at exactly what it says. Like, oh, this is
Hey, Dylan, getting wet. We got a good turnout today.
I am. 4, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's supposed to be more people coming. A few have left already, so there's been about 30 people or so. Every once in a while you'll see all the police line up in there. It's kind of funny. Well, they were up on that second lit floor. They were all standing up there, and then they all came down here.
And what happened across the street? They lined back up in front again.
I don't know. That was.
We don't have to fight our military. We are the military.
Some more cage.
Let's see.
Okay. Just be careful. Okay.
Good to see you, Evan. How you doing?
Wet.
Yeah. If it ain't raining, it ain't raining. Amen.
I need to get back to work. I need to get back to work today.
Step one. This is
you were saying it was kind of like I was
Absolutely.
right here because
And that's one thing that makes me proud to deal with people out here. What state has contributed the most American president?
kickoff to the end game, right?
Virginia.
right, but it wasn't going to be a Sunday.
Anyone ever heard of a man named Patrick Henry?
Like a tumble.
They have a famous speech just down the street here, church. Somewhere read this out loud.
Life so dear, peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not course others may take, but give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry.
Amen.
Western Virginia.
Rest in peace.
That gave me cold chills.
Sure about the win?
Yeah, man.
Liberty.
Bigger. Like watch the train.
I usually carry around my 40 crew back. I wanted something big. This little 15
come through.
I take them off.
Load them on trains. Go against.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I've been in the
I've heard.
I got a video on my
reporter.
Yeah, that's starting up like
Chemicals on Pruitt Hydro, largest project.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Biggest project. What is it called? Pruitt Hydro. That's a story.
Glad you can make it out, man. Turn out, man.
Yeah, it is. Freaking shitty night.
Oh my God.
I'll make a note before we leave, make sure everybody, yeah, the event page still stays up. The event page still stays up, it's not I think, so we can,
Talk about event page. In the event page.
hashtag E23.
All one color. All you guys. It has everything to do with the fest, but we don't get to the fest. Road to the bull. I mean, my 14-year-old daughter can be given up in some states an answer for the abortion. There's a whole lot of my 17-year-old son can't go to school if it's yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I learned about the other day? We were taking a quiz in history about why did Friday the 13th get its name? You know what the answer was? No. The teacher, I wrote down that's when the Pope had all the Knights Templars killed. When they see his lands, the right answer was Jesus is disciple. That's what my government teacher told me.
No, you're right.
That's kind of like, he's got to go to my school and not enjoy
That's
that.
not indoctrination.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a 13 disciple, we're going to be there. I'm Cody, by the way. I got 5. And actually, Janice introduced me to the planning meetings and this Liberty thing. Like they're going to DOJ and Jackson,
spray
divided and distracted. Yeah, I mean, that's 15 hours right there sleeping under a bridge. Exactly. Kansas might be a little different food, but still. But again, like I said, my little piece that they will be, you know, that's how I said it. I got disgusting. We need to be different.
I said, according to my rules of conduct, I have fiduciary responsibility for stockholders and the investors. You're the one lying. I've proven that you're lying. You haven't proven that you're not. And that's what they said. You gotta go. I got
and you mentioned clear as well. Look at the right $1 million members and 80% of the prisons are the most profitable private companies in the country.
Getting that voice out there is so important.
Absolutely. Did you see the judge up in New York that got arrested? He was literally putting these kids in the system because he was getting kickbacks not only from the and the prison. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's it's here. We got a group of people here. Guess what? They got all this going on behind us, and this is just one arm, one roof. Everyone's focused on the leaf growing good fruit.
I'm still trying to get my wife to put shopping at Walmart, stuff like that, but also nowhere. I think I'm video on this stuff like that.
When I put it on his show Monday, Henry Ford's quote. You know what I mean? If people of this country understood the banking system, it would be a revolution like zombies. And that's what he said it is today.
You never see a lot. Yeah. He's got two younger brothers and they play this game Minecraft. I don't know if you ever get it, but Minecraft is a thing. Just for,
I got a 10-year-old daughter.
okay, well just for laughs, he and I were looking through things. They had things on, they had literally,
I mean, you know,
scientists down underground.
Look at that. You got Prescott Bush and his son's the head of the CIA, the president, and his son's the president. It's a dynasty. It's like a family. It's like a big city.
You know, I know I've got friends focused in the same direction.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of gave my little feel earlier. We'll do a little.
I'll wait. I'm going to get a couple of interviews. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to just like interview me, like leave me, ask me.
Brain. They're going over there. They're going to see.
I'm out here at the
Once they get out on their own.
2013 right there, right across the street. And what you were telling us, your story, you were working for them, and they let you go, you found out later what was really going on.
Well, essentially, I was a credit risk officer for SunTrust Bank, right down across the river here, right across from the Federal Reserve, and I proved to them that they were lying about the riskiness of loans, and basically how that works is S&P stands as a risk measuring device. It's called Levels. It's a risk metric engine, and they use that to determine the riskiness of loans in order to price them in the market, so that they can, whether you use a credit score and all that to determine ability to repay, and that's supposed to determine the price point in the market based on its risk. Well, I showed them that they were doing it backwards. They were determining the price point they needed, and then associating the corresponding level of risk, not determining the risk independently and then pricing it. As one of my vice presidents told me, if we use that metric to price those loans, we'd have to charge 9% and we'd never sell it. It's just like the entire mortgage fraud in and of itself. Mortgage means debt threat. Look up the etymology of mortgage. The American dream to get everyone in the house has nothing to do with making you happy. To get you into a system of debt slavery that you cannot get out of. The Federal Reserve, the only one only can create money. And I use this example, the $11 coin. I'm the Federal Reserve and I lend you $10 with interest. You owe me $11. Where do you get the $11? You have to get it from me, but it has interest. And now you pay me back one, you still owe me $1. You can't get out of it. It's by design. So that whole subprime will help those who can't afford to pay. Nothing to do with it. It's called get everyone subservient and into debt that they can't get out of, and they'll be controlled and indebted to you indefinitely. I urge you to go home and look at your birth certificate. Somewhere in the bottom right-hand corner or somewhere in your birth certificate, it'll tell you it was issued by American Banknote Company. That's a question you can go look up yourself. Why is your certificate of live birth issued by a bank? And that'll lead you down the rabbit hole of sovereignty and admiralty law. Each person is a subject of this admiralty law. We are all vessels on the ocean. In any merger, we are all corporate fiction. In any merger between one corporate fiction and the next, it appropriates and creates another unit. That unit is now underneath the same admiralty law. It is a new good, and it has issued a certificate of exchange. Our very birth in this country under this Federal Reserve banking system is designed to keep us as serfs, neo-feudalism. The ruling class that leads the nobles, and the rest of us the peasants. But now we don't even farm the land, we depend on someone else for that. And that's Monsanto, and that's another rabbit hole. How's that? I can go all day. But it hurts me, man. It pains me to see so many people struggling. Like I told my parents, you can't afford to work anymore. Like I told them, if working created wealth to get you, and you were free, then how come your children don't have any wealth? People say, oh, we got the big house and the pool of it, do you own it? Well, no, we got debt on it. And that's what we need to pay off the debt. What happens if you don't pay your tax fees? Your fee for the privilege of being allowed to use that land. You don't pay your property tax, they'll come and take it. With force.
Here's my card. My blog's at the top of it.
Sweet, thank you, sir. Oh, wait, that's right in Hawaii.
No, I know. I mean, that's the
It's going to affect the entire world.
Good.
Yeah, how was you looking at it?
When Chris goes up to me, we have enough people, we walk in. Take it half hour. You're done. Hand word. Right. And I'd call them out too and say, you need to turn around because you're paid by us and you're under oath to do what you have to according to the Constitution. And you see that in a lot of countries. They turn around. Once they're told to shoot at people, it's like in Egypt. Years ago, Arab Spring and all that.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, but that's my blog right there.
Okay. Yeah, that's my problem. I'm not going to shoot.
Okay, I'm Glenn Sutton.
And it's all marching with them. And that's starting to happen all over the
I have my own blog and everything, and it's all up there.
I mean, like,
Support
I have,
page.
like, I keep up with Christos. There's a guy I'll text him.
Just like when I
Murdoch is not his big thing is Second Amendment rights.
Marine Corps Bible and
I'm telling you, they do these military things and it's up into the hundreds.
Oh yeah,
I am loving it. I like this guy. I want to go out there and meet all these people.
yeah, I do too. But
So I mean, so I keep up with the two of them, and then that blog would be nice, you know, because I can't do everything.
yeah,
But I want to keep up with it.
Yeah, I mean, if
I want to
you-
read real stuff that's true. You're gonna post real information.
oh yeah, I was featured in the New York Post in an article, 2 articles
Just like in feudalism.
on child pornography. That was was told by the FBI to stop my investigation on
How to
it.
pull the levers.
I mean, see, they're rude of it.
Well, yeah, they didn't want me finding that out, which I already knew. It's like, what are you going to do? You go, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are
You
you gonna
stand
do?
up and you tell them, and you make them face what's there. That's
Well, you have to be prepared for the worst thing that happens. You know what? Your child, the men's child. I mean, there's
my best friend was murdered in my front yard. So, you know, right here in Richmond. So it's like, I've been after the city for at least 10 years.
Didn't do anything.
Oh well, you should call the police. And it's like, we called the police on the guy. The police knew he had an illegal gun and did nothing to him. And then when my friend got murdered, it was like,
And then the time goes by and that's the end of it.
and then it got brushed under the rug. But I didn't.
They don't care.
I didn't though. So
I mean, there's, yeah, good for you. There aren't too many people like you. And I mean, I'm judged all the time. I don't care. I just don't care.
I don't care what people
But I
think
want
of
to
me.
be with people. I want to be with people like you guys because I need that community. I don't feel alone here. I need everybody.
Did you go to the Monsanto march?
No, I was
There was like 400.
I was out of town. I kept up with it all over the world.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And I mean, now there's some stuff going on in the consumer world that doesn't even have to be pushed by legislation because of the pressure.
Yeah, what's up?
You mean what? You know, people that it's all about the pocketbooks.
Yeah, it's all about the
They will do something.
It's all about this crap.
Yeah.
Fiat money that doesn't mean shit. And then
Imitation.
yeah,
I mean, monopoly money might have more value.
if we gave it that value, we would.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making the money look just like Monopoly money. Why
Yes,
not?
oh, aren't they though? Yes, they are.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I didn't bring anything for
Hands up real quick. I just want to point one thing out. If everybody is not on Facebook with our hashtag D23 Eliminate the Fed event page, we'll hop on that event page and we're all on there so we can coordinate. I've set up a group instant message under the same name, so just go make a comment on there. I'll throw a thread out saying, if you were here, we're seeing people to get involved. And I'll add everyone to the group instant message, and that way anything we throw out on the event page or in the chat, everybody will get notified on that.
I'm getting her right now.
All about numbers. It's a numbers game.
Okay, awesome.
What are you talking about? One of those?
Oh, yeah.
I can just slip you this.
Even if it was 1%, it's way less than 1%. Even if it was 1%. Rough numbers, right? But it's a dynamic that can change. But it's the same time. Yeah, what do we talk about?
Yeah, that's the people, man. I talked to Chris and Wes and, a few friends of mine have been working on a project called the Liberty Movement for a few years. It's not about the Liberty Movement, it's about how private money and government has corrupted our society. Things need to be changed. We've got a lot of people looking at the Fed. We've got a lot of people looking at the Affordable Care Act. We've got a lot of people looking at different directions. So you feel the latest act is all about private money and government. The legislators go to corporations, go to lobbyists, it's just a revolving door controlled by private money. Unfortunately, we've got those people living in the second house. Look right over there. Homeless people under the bridge. We still have starving children in our country, and enough's enough, man. We have to get like-minded people focus in the same direction. Get out the landlords and keep us surviving. I'm here because I love my children. I love you guys for wanting better for our country, and I'm a Marine first and foremost, and I took an oath to uphold the Constitution, and I'll take that to my death. So that's why I'm here, brother, and I'm glad you're here too. Yes, sir.
That sidewalk over there considered federal property, or there's a city side to the bigger side like that?
I wouldn't think it would be. Chris, sidewalk over there federal property, or
They would say it is.
I don't know. I think it's right here. It was all a bunch of we had one year. And there was a bridge in the area there. My guy jumped off. And I don't know how long it was.
Yeah, I just wondering.
What kind of life was Hey, we were sitting there. Awesome. The other side. Everybody down the wall? Chris Lane?
you guys go with that? full concerted action and show them we're together. We're just going to take a lap. We'll cross the street, get on the sidewalk here, and just come back to where we're at. Keep a little dispersion, a couple feet between us, and let's. We're marching. Got a little cadence, Wes? In gun range. He's off. Hands up there! Hands up there! Hands up there! Yeah, that'd be okay. All that kind of stuff. We're not gonna take it! No! In the face! 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 On the sidewalk. Free firearms on.
Dreary, rainy night here. All right. On a few select individuals decided to make a decision.
In the face!
Reserve.
Hey, wait, we ain't clear! Woo!
It's time to make some noise.
In the face!
Good stuff, good stuff.
Next year, 2014, days before Christmas in the rain. Good stuff. I love it.
All right, hey, that's awesome. Hey, good stuff. Good job, everybody. That was a really awesome protest. Great turnout for the horrible conditions, the weather that we're having, which went from mild and rainy to cold and wind whipping and rainy. And yeah, we told them we're not playing around. If everybody else on the continent's gonna take this line down, we're not. We're gonna do something to break this tyranny. We're not going to take it any longer. The Fed represents everything that is wrong on the planet, everything that is wrong with humanity, and we've got a target on them. And that means that anybody who calls themselves an American, who thinks that the United States Constitution is the law, and that fraud and banking fraud is a bad thing, they have to join us. We're not going to take this very much longer. These are the worst criminals on the planet, and we're going to get them. We're coming for them, and we're going to get them.
So we're going to keep the pressure on. If anybody's got video, audio, anything from today, if you want to upload that, you can shoot that to the event page, the links and stuff. We got a guy from National Group that's going to compile all the different groups across the country's videos together and get some, slicing and dicing, and try to get like a 5 to 10 minute, national representation of every location's event from today. So just put that on the event page, and I'll make sure Steve Cottrell and those guys get all the links. And that's the beauty of the internet era we're in. You can't hide information anymore. Every time they take it down, we put it up 2 more times. They can't stop the signal, and we don't have to be geographically near each other to help each other. And we're really trying to leverage that technology. And one thing about kind of human nature, if there's a few people doing it, even if they think it's right, they might be a little hesitant to get involved. But you see a whole bunch of people doing it, it's that kind of bandwagon thing. Yeah. I believe you're right. I would do it, but it's easier to say yes, I'll join you 100 people, than it is I'll join you 2 people. So showing everyone that yes, it's not just you. There's millions, hopefully millions of us that understand the score, we understand the hour, we understand the lives, and we're gonna keep that pressure on all year.
Yeah. And the way to build those millions, like Wes and Chris both said a few times, let's have meetings if we can monthly the next year, and let's have planned concerted activity so this group can raise. And it's all about building a network and sharing the message and educating everyone. We can do it softly with some, and some we're going to have to take a full frontal hasty ambush attack, but connecting all the dots and everyone working together, whatever the issue is, peel the layers back. The Fed and private money in government has corrupted our country, and thank you guys for your leadership here today, and what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're going to get all this stuff up, and we are, we've been talking, I think it would be a good idea to meet down here once a month. We've done it at Bobby Scott's office. We did it every week, and we could get between 5 and 20 people out there every week. So certainly with something as important as the Fed, I think we can do this, every month. But I think we might even be able to do it. Some people want to do it every week. But we do need to keep it going, as Wes put it, and as Chris Lane was putting it. We need to keep it going. This is just the starting point.
Amen, brother.
It's a big, important day. It's the 100th anniversary, and this is the last year that they'll be around because, we've had enough. We won't take it anymore. So we're going to do this every month. And I thank you all for coming out, and I thank everybody. This could, there were a lot of people organizing this, and everybody who showed up, they organized it. Every single one of the people out here decided, I'm going to make a stand individually and do all I can, which is control my mind and my body and walk down in front of the Federal Reserve Bank, and if nothing more, show my disdain for them. So I thank you all for being here, and I guess that's it. I'm going to stay here as long as anybody else does, but
let me just say, I want to commend every single person that came here despite the bad weather, because the sweet thing about this is that we're not the only ones doing it today.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? There's 12 other Federal Reserves across the country, and from what I've seen on the internet, other people are uniting just like that. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's 20 or 20,000 of us. The important thing is that we continue to get the message out there to inform Americans, because our people in our country are so misinformed by the disinformation and the propaganda in the media. So it's up to all of us as individual leaders to continue to spread that knowledge and information about this corrupt organization so we can end the fed.
Amen.
And no Fed!
And no Fed! And no Fed! And no Fed!
And we're all stronger together, and it would be naive to think that we won't face adversity in this. Just like today, it is a battleground. It's a war for the minds, and the education and the well-being of all of our, not only our Virginia citizens, our American citizens, but the citizens of the world. Other countries are banning things like the GMOs. It's not just us here in Richmond, it's not just Americans, it's the way of life for the world, and we're stronger together. And when one of us falls, there's 10 of us to pick the rest of us up. And we work as a team. I'm kind of Chris and I kind of spearhead this event. I know I'm kind of in a leadership role here, and I don't mind stepping up, but I want to empower everybody. People naturally kind of either gravitate toward a leader or a follower, but everybody can play any role. You can start your own thing, your own movement, get your own group, your own family, whoever it is, and if you need help, call on any of us, and we're all here as one unit, one species. The days of black and white and gay and straight and whatever religion, it doesn't matter. If human life on this planet is going to continue in any way worthwhile, we have to make this happen.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah.
They will have their day.
Yeah, and just thanks to Wes and especially to Sean Anthony, who is the host of Flow of Wisdom, that airs on Power 92 here in Richmond, but is syndicated across the country on Genesis. That was a big reason why we had a concise message going out there, is because we talked about it. We talked about the Fed, and particularly this event, for hours on the radio. People started thinking about it. It got into the collective consciousness. And we're starting to unite with the same talking points. Left, the right, the center, they're all starting to get it. This left, right, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party stuff, it's bullshit.
Left root, right root.
Left root, left root.
Conquer.
Yes. Masonry, the dividing instruments are their symbols. The Masons, they run this, the Zionist bankers, the Jesuits, it's all the same. Those who control the currency control the planet. And we're not going to take it anymore. And we're talking about it. We got their game down. We know it backwards and forwards. They can't even tell us that we don't know what we're talking about anymore, because we always have proof.
And for more on any conspiracies, Sean does his show Flow of Wisdom, and I'm on every Wednesday night on Blog Talk Radio, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Blog Talk Radio Conspiracy Corner. My co-host is out of Texas. You may have heard of the Texas Open Carry movement. He's real big in all those guys, C.J. Grisham, and spearheading all of that. And it's really big in Texas. And our show unites that, and there's a whole bunch of more people that are starting their own shows. As we've seen the ratings on mainstream media go down, but people know that that's a lie, but they don't know where to go to get redirected in the right direction. But there's a lot of people that are trying to step up and fill that information gap and share that information and work together. So we're going to keep pushing that. Tune in to my show, Sean's show, and we can turn you on. We're talking about trying to get maybe some kind of network together where we've got something every day. Again, the contacts. My show also deals in the conspiracies. People may not believe it, but all roads still do lead to Rome.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks, y'all, and hey, great job.
All right, thank you all. And
change the next event. Next year we're going to have some sort of party on this day, looking at all the accomplishments that Collective Minds took.
I honestly, I can go on like some of us were saying earlier. I want to have something on maybe July 3rd where we do have an open carry, where we do have maybe a few hundred people out here open carrying and walking in front of the Federal Reserve, like some of us were open carrying, by the dozens and walking. We want to be by the hundreds, open carrying, and if we get bold enough, we might be able to tell them, hey, everybody who works at the Federal Reserve Bank on July 3rd, you had the day off because we shut the place down. So I think if we got 500 people out here armed, I think we could shut the place down, and I think we could definitely do that. So we'll play it by ear, but that should be something to shoot for. No pun intended. And we'll be doing lots of stuff before the 3rd of July.
Yeah, I was looking for ideas. Like we just kind of came up with all the UPOP's Monument Avenue, runs and all that. That's a captive audience running by. Like Chris was saying, those of us who are a little more physically fit, can get out there and run with the people and just, hey, they're running. Hey, you ever heard of that? Just no idea, is off the table, and just
actually we'll set up a water stand and hand them water with a little bit of information.
Yeah, with our handouts, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
So we want to get any ideas. Again, we leverage our strengths and shore up our weaknesses as a team.
Amen.
All right, thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Now you stop ringing.
Make sure, like I said, hop on the hashtag D23 Illuminate the fan event page, and you can get all of our contact and all that from there. Good to see you, man.
Nice meeting you. Oh. Well.
It all kind of makes sense. It's like that whole book, the Patriot Act, first major step. More power. That's exactly what it is. It's like a fucking
Yeah, I think it's an excellent turnout. I knew it was 2 days before Christmas.
And it was rain, yeah. I mean, we had 91 person show up, 90 degrees and sunny. So.
Yeah.
It was me and you.
Yeah, we've had that time here before.
Yeah.
And I think another thing is, we put a lot of work into it.
We did.
So even with that thing, I would have gotten less of I who knows about the results, but it's actually what it's just like you got constantly work to get ready.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of this year-long, they don't care they see us out here a couple times a year, but when they start getting a bigger crowd, and more people start waking up and start asking the same questions, they'll be like,
Well, when they put it on the news, when we start getting our talking points out there, and there was a national movement that had pretty close to our talking point. Now, I saw some people on the left trying to weasel their way in with the nationalized defense. I was there years ago. We were saying that during Occupy, saying, hey, you guys talk about the Constitution on conservative radio, that means that the Federal Reserve Bank is unconstitutional. We got that. And then, so we started pushing that to the left, saying, well, hey, this is saying the government controls it, and we're the government, so we control it.
And that's what they forget. Right. The power comes from the people up to the state, and what little we delegate goes to the state.
Right. But but right now, it's like the rules. It's like the old adage, those who make the rules must abide by them. Or they act in dishonor under the rules. And so as soon as this starts going out there, and we start really calling them on their flaw, goes for children, goes for elections, goes for everything, but especially for this, because like this is, we had a cop there. That cop, you know, he basically told hey, how's it going? He told the cameraman who's spreading our message, he's got to move because he's illegally parked. He told the police, you better come down here and join us.
And arrest you?
Yeah, violation of
criminals, because they are criminals.
So you see that guy put, we have evidence of that guy putting statutes over law.
Right.
And what does that show us in real time?
Yeah, and I'll read this real quick too. We'll look at someone that shared with us. Speaking about law. I want to show you real quick some of our national friends have shared. It's called a notification to law enforcement. We retain our right to peaceable assembly from the first constitutional amendment as well as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 20, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 21, the American Convention on Human Rights, Article 15. Any, quote, law you may be attempting to uphold counter to this is void. Under Supreme Court Ruling 5 U.S. 137, Mayberry versus Madison. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is void. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
That's right.
All these laws and codes and the park is closed at sunset. Any of these things, parking laws, speeding tickets. You know, and that's one of the things I question not only as, when I was in the military, but when I worked in the financial industry. None of these laws are valid. If it goes against the Constitution, it's irrelevant. Yeah, you can pay people to enforce it, but that's just a monopoly on force. Even George Washington said, government is force. As Mao accurately put, Mao Zedong, political power comes out the barrel of a gun. And that's why they want only the cops and military to have guns. Well, goddamn it, we got something too. And we ain't gonna give them up for nothing. Charlton Heston said out of my cold dead fingers. That's why we're here. All these laws, statutes, how is it that I can be, you can have someone in the military, 18 years old, can't vote, can't drink a beer, but they can be in charge of millions of dollars of military equipment in people's lives, but they don't have enough sense to know how fast to drive a vehicle on the road without some sort of law, some code, saying the law, the administrative code, saying that we have deemed this speed too fast for you. And if you violate it, we're going to put on some distracting lights, go even faster than you went, to chase you down, pull you over, and make you pay a fee for doing something we don't like. That's not law, that's tyranny. Yeah. Woo! What are they? I used to say before, I got more games than Milton Brass, bring it on.
Not you. Satellite to the garden. I think more people are coming too. I mean, I got a call from somebody who said that they were coming, and I guess they're looking for parking now. I don't see them, so I'm happy with this.
Oh yeah, this turnout's real good.
Yeah.
We are officially ruled by force.
So you'll be able to get all this up, tonight, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, depending on if the computer cooperates.
What might happen? Well, I can tell you what people
Doesn't like to work after I put my foot through it.
Happening is bad enough to try something else and not be afraid of what might happen, because what's gonna happen is still a fact.
Yeah, I'll have the raw feed up tonight.
Yeah, because I can.
Every other empire fell. Our military is defeated.
Are you getting the whole thing?
Little straight record.
I mean, myself, I believe we the
Fedbook.
Yeah,
I think I'm in one of those.
Glenn's on. Yeah, Glenn's on our.
I always share it on his page, so it'll probably be on the Fed page too.
Sweet.
All the ones that I'm on. It's news. You gotta do something.
I mean, I think this is pretty good. We did work hard on this one. Yeah, so
Counting what, about 30 right now?
I'd say there's about 30. I did a count of like 26 earlier.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of people showed up.
Well,
in the car.
We've never held a post.
You know, we keep looking around for other people to show up. I mean, we're doing the right thing. It's up to us.
Oh, I know. I think this is a big turnout. Oh, yeah. That's all anybody can absolutely control is what they themselves do. Because everybody wants to talk about, oh, there could be less than 10 people here, there could be more than 10 people. If everybody decides they're not going to show up, right? Oh, yeah, I've been doing this.
Mobilization doesn't happen.
That's right. That's right.
Came from the Communication with America. Mobilization
Boots on the ground, that's what matters.
There's a strike. Put out there.
Well, I've been telling everybody, I challenged them, I was like, show up. Show up. If you don't like what's said later, walk away. You know?
And you can hear it.
Yeah.
Really kind of like, you know, the I found that you get past the bad attitude and the aggressive nature, they are really scared of authority.
I get into it.
They are, and I think power is when you go right down to the
The other thing is, backing around. That's something. Camera moves.
Yeah, anything over 100, you're out.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Because 100's not, I mean, they don't want to get you see. I think they've got really smart people.
Oh, yeah.
They have like officers. I think that's probably accurate. Yeah. Exactly. They just kind of tell you what they're going to say.
Oh, the electronic machine is the one you feel like shoving.
You see that?